joining us tonight. I'm Rob Giampapa here at the beautiful new field at Spartan Stadium with West Springfield football's Najee Green, Peter Muskett, and Daniel Adu. How you guys doing tonight?
Good, sir. You, sir?
Good, good. Guys, last season didn't end the way you wanted it to. What were you able to take away from last year that you can go and take into this year?
Get everyone involved.
Yeah, for us personally, really what killed us toward the end of the year was we didn't have strength in our front seven and really our offensive line. And our ability to move people off the ball wasn't very strong. So what we tried to work on was getting our meat a little bit beefier and just like really focusing on getting everybody like to get that forward push that we need to get those short yard situations.
Yeah, basically what Najee said, just get everybody involved. Last year we were thin, in all positions. So this year it's very important that we get everybody playing both sides or as much people as we can. So that's one thing that we're focusing on this year.
Okay. And what did you want to work on individually in the offseason to get better for this year?
Work out, run, get faster.
Get faster?
Yeah,
Right.
for me at least.
Me personally, just improving my game at like the cerebral part of the game as quarterback. So focusing on my reads, diagnosing coverages, finding matchups, and getting better in the mental aspect of the game.
With me, I wanted to focus on my leadership, especially with the receiving core. I know I'm a big part of it, and so that's one thing that I wanted to focus on just to get us all on the same page, especially for a quarterback like Peter. It's very important that we all stay on the same page this year.
Okay. And how much competition is there between you, Najee, and Daniel when you're out on the field?
A lot of competition, I can definitely say. I mean, we all want the ball, especially me and Najee. Especially fourth down, and and we're looking for someone to make a big play. Me and Najee, always want the ball. So that's
Going back and forth.
Yeah.
Peter throw it to me. Daniel come back. Peter throw it to me. So yeah.
I love passing,
It's
but I
fun.
also love running too. So I mean, they might get mad if I decide to take off, but it's all good. We still love it.
Well, all right. Well, Peter, since they said it, who talks more? Who comes back and
Talks
tells
more?
you getting the ball more?
Man, everyone talks so much. Like it's crazy. Like our during practice, we're all just going so intense. So like honestly, like we feel we're open every play, and like we all say like to each other things we could have said.
Yeah.
So I mean, I can't really tell because we're always just like going at each other, trying to get each other better.
You say it more, don't you?
I don't know.
I think I say a lot more. I always want the ball.
All right. Well, how often did you guys work together in the off season?
Well, during the winter, we had morning weight room together. So we'd all lift and before school started. And then for me and Daniel, we did track. So then we'd usually do a track workout and then maybe throw a little bit after that. So a lot during the winter. Then once that was the spring. That's my fault. So during the winter, we just lifted. And then spring is when we did all that. And we got Najee in there to run with us too. And that's mainly when.
What do you do best on the field?
Go through contact. Like I don't like juking. I like hitting people.
You just like running over people?
Yeah.
Yeah, Najee's a hard guy to bring down.
Peter, I asked you the same thing. What do you do best on the field?
For me, if in like a playing aspect, I try to just give defenses like a hard thing to cover. So if they try to guard my pass too much, I can take off and run. If they try to guard me running, then I try to throw. But I also try to be a leader in every way that I can and get these guys organized and putting leadership hopefully in them to like also do the same.
And Najee, I'll ask you the same thing. What does Peter do best on the field?
Peter taking off and running when he doesn't have me and Daniel open.
I like how you put that in there at the end, though. And Daniel, what do you do best?
I feel like I do best, when the game's on the line, when I'm under pressure, honestly, is when I feel like I do best. Third down last year, it was tough for us, to pick up that first down. And I always wanted the ball on third down and fourth down. And so I feel like when it comes to that, tight situation, that's one thing I do the best. I can stay composed and focused on that. So.
Coach Eldridge is obviously, we talk to him a lot. He's a colorful guy. He likes to talk. What's it like playing for Coach Eldridge?
Whew. His mood
great.
change.
It's great, but sometimes he can be on the the tough side. But I love playing for Coach Eldridge. He's always there for us. We're all his boys, and so having a coach that can treat you like a father sometimes, it feels really great. So. Yeah, it's great playing for Coach Eldridge. Yeah, if you say that.
Like we'd all die for him. Like you're gonna have like those moments where you get annoyed with any coach, but I wouldn't want to play for anyone else. Yep. We love him.
And how much you guys run a lot of trick plays, gadget plays, stuff like that. How much freedom does he give you in the offense?
I think he like leaves that up to the coordinators usually and the quarterback coach. So if we want to run something like that, like he's all for it as long as it doesn't end up badly. So he's pretty cool with it.
Yep.
And who's your favorite player to watch? Who's your favorite receiver to watch?
I don't really have a favorite receiver, honestly. I don't really watch football like that. Like I'm more like out, but like I don't really have a favorite team. That's your question.
All right. And Peter, what about you? Who do you like to watch? Who do you like to study?
I'm not a Packers fan, but I love watching both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers just because their ability to get the ball out from like different angles and like weird directions. I think it's incredible, and that's really what I like to watch and learn from.
I mean, I love to watch Calvin Ridley from Alabama. He's a wide receiver there. His routes very nice. I used to watch his high school highlights. Every day before last year, and so that's one thing I really look up to. One person I really look up to, and also I like to see DeJon Jackson. His speed, and how his route running affects a DB in the game. So those are two people I really like to look at.
Okay. Now, are there players in the area that you follow that you kind of compare yourself with, or you try to stay ahead of?
Yeah, with me definitely. There's a lot of good receivers in this area. Last year, CJ from West Potomac, Dylan Spalding, two really great receivers. This year, I'm really looking at Dylan just to see, where I'm at with him. But a great kid, great receiver. So I'm hoping to stay up there with him this year.
What about you?
Beat them all. I'm gonna be there. Just know that this year.
And Peter, what about you? Are there any quarterbacks in the area that you try to?
I mean, with us, I feel like we're all just like still writing our own stories. So, like, I like to look at like guys who played like in the past year. So I'll watch like Niebrick's tape, Renner, Lawlick, and Caleb Henderson, because I think like those are the dudes who like I think of when I think of like the all-time greats from this like Northern Virginia area. Also, Briarwood's guy, what's his face? Trace McSorley, is that his name? So like, guys like that, like real dual threat kind of dudes.
Right. Now, before a game, when you guys are getting ready for a game, do you like to talk a lot? Do you try to get off by yourself? What do you do before a game?
Don't think negative. Always think positive. Just get all the touches I can, catch every ball, get out, and score.
Right. What about you, Peter?
I usually like to stay to myself. I mean, like pregame, I'll try to get the guys hyped up and everything like that, but I'm more just like quiet, stay to myself, listen to my music, just focus.
Pre-game, usually what I like to do is stay somewhere quiet, dark, where I can watch film. Like I said, of Calvin Ridley, that's one thing one person I watched all last season. Before games, that's usually my main pre-game ritual. Just watch receivers, make great plays, so I can use that on the field that night.
What's on the playlist pre-game?
I can definitely say probably a lot of Future. He's one of my favorite rappers, so. Coach just wants a variety of playlists, of songs on the playlist. So it's one thing we're doing this year. So.
All right. Now, guys, about to start off the year here. I mean, you got one more scrimmage against Centerville. Big game against Robinson to open the season. What are your expectations and your goals for your team and for yourselves individually?
I mean, I think our expectation around here is Coach Elgers will tell you every single year is that of a state championship. And, like, if you're not shooting for that, then he really says, like, what's the point of playing? But, like I was saying before, like, when you consider like that, that's, like, a really big goal to set without, like, saying, like, step-by-step ways to get there. So ways that we can get there is, like, this year we're having a lot of guys play both ways. So me, Daniel, and Najee, you're going to see us on defense a little bit, getting our front linemen a lot bigger and stronger so we can get those short yardage situations. And so I think, and most importantly, keeping all of our starters healthy, because that'll be huge for us this year. Last year, injuries and missing people really hurt us down the road. So I think if we can accomplish all those things, that goal, like the ultimate goal of conference, region, state championship will become so much more like achievable, and that's ultimately where we think we're headed.
What about individually?
Individually, for game one against Robinson, I just want to be the best player I can be, honestly. It being my senior year, I want to leave it all out on the field this year. So, every game, every route, every play, I'm pushing myself to the next level. So, especially playing Robinson this year, everyone's saying, well, most people are saying that, it was a fluke. I mean, I don't really think it was. I think we actually played our hardest, and we were able to beat that team because we had the ability to. But this year, I think we can do, a better job than we did last year. So that's all on my mind this year. Just beating Robinson in the first game. So.
All right. Najee.
I agree with him too. But I just want to make sure I catch every ball, make sure I'm on the right game plan, make sure people behind me, just in case I go down, they're ready to step up, be with Peter. Just make sure that the whole team's ready.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Ozers tells us sometimes that with us and a couple other players that we're our worst enemies, and that it's not necessarily going to be the defense that's going to stop us, but us maybe putting too much pressure on ourselves. So we just gotta relax, have fun, be focused, and really just play our game because we put the work in and we're ready to go.
Yep.
And the last question's for all three of you. Is there a better receiving core in the area than the two of you guys?
To be honest, I don't think so. All right. You, Daniel?
I don't think so either. There's some teams that could compete with us, in terms of receiving cores, but I don't think there's a better receiving core than us here.
No.
Yeah, I think me and Daniel know how to work together because we've been together since freshman year.
Yeah. I mean, we've been balling forever. I mean, there's no stopping
It's a tight
us,
bond
really.
between us. So.
Good. Excellent. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Najee Green, Peter Muskett, Daniel Adu, West Springfield High School.